Hello Virgo, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. How does Virgo currently view this relationship? So we do have the Ace of Pentacles, very nice. We also have the Judgment card, and then we also have the Seven of Pentacles. The bottom of the deck, we do have the King of Pentacles to the Four of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles. This to me kind of feels like an energy of you finally getting out of your own way. It kind of looks like for a while you've been wanting to accomplish and achieve something, Virgo, but I feel like you've been standing in your own way for quite some time now. And because of that, it was kind of preventing you from accomplishing and achieving whatever this thing is that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself. But now that you're finally getting out of your own way and going after what it is that you truly want and desire, we're seeing a lot of growth and expansion, within your life transpire because you're finally getting out of your own way, Virgo. You're finally getting out of your own way. This could have a lot to do, Virgo. This to me does have a lot to do with something that's going to bring a lot of abundance and stability into your life. I am definitely getting that. A lot of abundance and stability into your life, as well as confidence. I'm also getting that, as well as confidence. So whatever this thing is that you've been kind of holding back on pursuing for whatever reasons you may have had, I don't see you allowing these reasons of yours to not go off and pursue whatever this thing is to like stand in your own way anymore is basically what I'm getting. And because of that, you're going to experience a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, and a lot of abundance and stability into your life. And you're going to find yourself feeling a lot better about yourself. I am definitely getting that because there's something about your confidence, like just going through the freaking roof is basically what I'm getting. Like, don't get me wrong, Virgo. I feel like you were somebody who was always confident within themselves. Nine of Pentacles is a very confident energy, right? It's an energy of, I would say, contentment, to be completely honest. Like, I feel like you were always like, content, with where you were at, career-wise, business-wise, financially, or just simply, within yourself, like you were content. But I feel like now that you're finally getting out of your own way, we kind of see you feeling satisfied. It's like you're going from being content to satisfied with where you're at, career-wise, business-wise, financially, possibly even physically, because that could be the case for some of you out there as well. But I do love the fact that you're finally getting out of your own way. And because of that, a lot of good is going to come with it. Okay. How does this person currently view this relationship with Virgo? I am definitely getting that you're inspiring somebody. You're inspiring somebody close to you. Whatever it is that you're finally deciding to go off and pursue and or do with your life, Virgo, it's inspiring somebody close to you, like a family member, a friend, possibly even a romantic interest. And for some of you, possibly even a total stranger. I just kind of see this person very hyper focused on you and what you're doing, with your life. And it's inspiring this person to want to do the exact same thing. So let's just say for a while you've been wanting to freaking start that business, but what has been stopping you is the fear of essentially failing. Well, now that you're overcoming that fear of essentially failing and you're deciding to go off and start that business, and your business is just taking off, you could very well be inspiring somebody to turn around and do the exact same thing, Virgo. But I am definitely getting that there is somebody here who's feeling really inspired by you, really inspired by you. And it's somebody close to you. Like, I mean, they could be a stranger. It's a possibility. Because I feel like strangers inspire like other strangers all the time, but whoever they are, it's somebody who has been a part of your life for quite some time now. It's somebody close to you. It's someone very, very close to you. Okay, let's keep going. Tell me more about Virgo. How does Virgo currently feel? That's pretty impressive, Virgo. Well, I'm a little concerned, but I'll get to that in a second. But the fact that you went from harnessing Nine of Pentacles energy to King of Pentacles energy to Emperor energy, the only reason why you're harnessing a lot of masculine energy right now is because you're using your masculine energy to do what you got to do, right? To work on the things that you need to work on, to improve the things that you want to essentially improve, right? About yourself. And because you're finally getting out of your own way, you're not making excuses anymore. You're basically getting it done, you know? And I just kind of see you just elevating, and just growing, I would say, like as an individual. And I just kind of feel like this person that's in your life is someone that I feel like you're starting to kind of somewhat look at differently, is basically what I'm getting. Like, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, this is like a romantic interest, okay? And you're trying to do everything that you can on your end to get to where you want to be at financially, but you're romantically involved with somebody who doesn't really have the motivation and or desire to improve their financial situation. And that could have you looking at this person differently. You know, that could have you questioning, like, man, like, are we really like life partners here? Are we really compatible, you know, to one another? I just kind of see you making drastic changes with your life, and the fact that you don't really see them making any sort of drastic changes with their life, it kind of has you questioning, like, are we really life partners here? Like, is this really my person? You know what I mean? Like, just like you're taking the time to focus on you and work on you and improve whatever it is that you want to essentially improve about you in your life, it's as if you would want this person to turn around and do the exact same thing, but they're not. But they're not. Okay. How does this person... Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Moon, and then we have the Sun. Okay, so I feel like this is the person that you're kind of looking at differently, and you're starting to really kind of question. Okay. Here's the thing with this person to the right of me. Do I feel like you're inspiring this person to want to go off and start that business as well? Yes. Are you inspiring this person to like want to go off and get that degree too? Yes. Whatever it is that you're doing with your life, you're inspiring this person, more of the story, to turn around and, you know, want to do the exact same thing. However, and I'm not entirely sure why this person is like this, but this is that type of person that, like, how do I explain this? This is that type of person that, you know, says, yeah, I'm gonna start that business, you know, this year. And then the year goes by and they're just like, you know what? This year, for sure, I'm going to do it. And then that year goes by and then they're like singing the same tune. But this year, no, like for real, I'm going to do it. Like, for real, like I'm going to do it. Like, seriously, no jokes. Like, I'm going to do it. And then that year goes by and it's like they're still singing the same tune. Like, I feel like this person tends to do that. Where they get like this like amazing like idea in their head, and instead of pursuing it and giving it all that they got, it's like they sit there and constantly like delay it for whatever reason. So the fact that this person sees you doing whatever it is that you're doing with your life, like, is it inspiring them to do the exact same thing? Yes. And this person may have went as far as to say, you know what, Virgo, because you're starting that business, I'm going to turn around and do it too. You know what I mean? But they never actually do, you know what I mean? And then they just sit there and delay it and make excuses, you know, make excuses as to why they haven't started that business yet, or as to why they haven't gotten that degree yet. You know, it's like this person truly does delay a lot of things, is basically what I'm getting. It's like they always say that they're going to do something and then they end up not doing it, and then they make excuses as to why they're not doing it, or they just delay it entirely for whatever reason. I just kind of feel like this person's just content. You know what I mean? Like, they're just content. The Nine of Pentacles to the Nine of Cups, it's a very similar, you know, energy. You know, Nine of Cups is just somebody who's just content with where they're at. You know what I mean? In life, just like you once upon a time were content with where you were at in life. Now, I wouldn't go as far as to say like you were 100% satisfied with your life, but you weren't mad at it either. Like you were content. You know what I mean? And I feel like with you, it's like you don't want to be content. You don't want to live a life that you're content with. You want to live a life that you're satisfied with, that you're proud of, that you are absolutely 100% in love with. But when it comes onto them in their life, they're just content. You know what I mean? Like they're just content. Like granted, are there things that this person wants to like, you know, accomplish and achieve for themselves? Yeah, sure. But they tend to like put it off too much. They tend to also make excuses as to why they can't pursue this and as to why they can't do that. You know what I mean? You're the type of person that doesn't sit around and make excuses. You just get it done. You know what I mean? And that's like the big difference, I would say, between you and this person. But unfortunately, due to them, I guess, not doing anything with their life like you are, I guess, it kind of has you looking at them like differently. It kind of has you kind of questioning like, okay, like, is this really my person? You know, is this really my person? Like, is this really my person? Um, okay. What actions will Virgo take towards this person or moving forward? So we have the Seven of Wands. We have the King of Wands. And then we also have the Five of Wands. Well, this appears to me as like a massive issue for you, to be completely honest. It does. It feels like a massive issue for you, Virgo. Like the fact that like this person is not really, I guess, doing anything with their life or going off and starting a business like you are or going off and getting that degree like you are, it kind of has you looking at this person like, yeah, I just don't see how this is going to work. Like, I just don't see how this is going to work. So this is like a really big issue for you. I feel like you want somebody who's just as driven as you are. I feel like you want somebody who's just as ambitious as you are and motivated as you are and wants the exact same things that you essentially want. And I guess you're dealing with somebody who's just not like that. You know what I mean? In other words, this person may not have like the desire, you know, to like live the good life like you do. You know what I mean? This person may not have the desire to live in a mansion like you want. You know what I mean? Like they may not have those desires, but I guess because they don't have those desires, which is the same desires, you know what I mean, that you know you have that you would want them to essentially have, it's an issue for you. It's an issue for you. And that's the thing, is that I do see you like pushing them. You know what I mean? Like I do see you pushing them to go get that degree, pushing them to like improve their financial situation, pushing them to go do X, Y, and Z, you know, with their life. And I feel like the more you sit there and push this person to do more with their life, the more you experience that level of pushback from them, is basically what I'm getting. Okay. I just feel like you just want this person to be the best version of themselves that they could possibly be for themselves, but also for you in this dynamic that the two of you share with one another. But we have the Knight of Wands. We got the Four of Wands. And then we also have the Ten of Swords out here. All right. Before I open my mouth and say anything, tell me more about the Ten of Swords. We have the Six of Swords to the Three of Cups. And then we also have the Queen of Pentacles out here. Okay, so here's the thing, Virgo. Like I said, I do see you pushing this person to become like the best version of themselves that they could possibly be for themselves, but also for you in this dynamic that the two of you share with one another. Because you want to have somebody by your side who's basically like you, driven, ambitious, determined, motivated, you know? But see, here's the thing. The only reason why I actually see this person deciding, okay, like, let me go back to school, is not because they want to go back to school. It's because you're pushing them to go back to school. And what's going to end up happening is that they're not going to follow through on it. Like, they'll sign themselves up and everything to go back to school, but are they going to actually finish it and get that degree? No, they're not going to, because they're not doing all of this because they have the desire to do it. They're doing all of this because you're pushing them to do all of this. And on top of that, Virgo, they're only doing this because they basically feel like if they don't, they're going to end up basically losing you in the process. So I don't know if you're telling this person like, yo, like, if you don't like put in the work to like do this, then the third with your life, like, I just don't see how this is going to work out between us. And that could be what's prompting this person to go back to school. That could be what's prompting this person to get that degree, to start that business in the name of, well, I just don't want to lose Virgo. So let me just focus on improving my financial situation. Let me just focus on getting this degree. Let me just focus on this. Like, they're not doing this because they want to do it. They're doing it because if they don't, they feel like they're going to end up basically losing you in the process of it all. And they don't want that. And they don't want that. But see, that's the thing, is that they're not going to see this through. They're not going to see this through. They're not. They could take the necessary steps towards starting a business all they want, but they're never going to actually officially start it and get it off the ground. They can tell you, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to go back to school. I promise I'm going to go back to school. They could sign themselves up. They're not going to those classes. Sorry, it is what it is. They're just not going to go. Like, this to me just kind of feels like an energy of them hitting you with the, oh yeah, Virgo, I'm going to do this with my life, and I'm going to do that with my life, just to like, and I'm sorry to put it in this type of, fashion, but they're just telling you whatever it is that they think you want to essentially hear, just to like, I hate to say this, but to just it's like, I want to say the words, but it's like, it's going to sound rude, but I'm not trying to be rude, but they're just kind of telling you like, yeah, I'm going to go back to school, just to shut you up. So that way you can stop complaining. Like, but are they really going to go back to school? No. Like, they'll probably sign themselves up, but they ain't attending those fucking classes. You know what I mean? Like, they can sit there and tell you, yeah, Virgo, I'm going to get started today on this business. You know what I mean? And it's like, are they really going to do it? Probably not. Probably not, Probably not. They might come up with some business cards or something, and that's going to be that. But are they going to really like get the business established and get it off the ground? No. 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 There's other things that they rather do with their time, Virgo. There's just other things that they rather do with their time. You guys are very different, like, there's just, I'm sorry, like, this person rather, like, I don't know, like, go out drinking, go out partying, chill with friends, chill with family, than to get a degree. You're not like that. This person rather go to the club than start a business. You're not like that. You see what I mean? You're not like that. You're not like that. I just think that this person's very happy and content with where they're at in life, Virgo. And that's just what it is. It's one of those things where it's like, dude, like, you're either going to accept the fact that they are the way that they are, or you're not. But if you obviously choose not to accept them in the way that they are as an individual, I don't recommend that you remain with them, because you're going to forever find yourself essentially feeling like you're the only one trying to essentially improve your life. You know what I mean? And they're just sitting around doing nothing with theirs. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, especially if you guys are like married, or I guess you could apply this if you guys are in a relationship, but primarily if you guys are married, it's like, if you're over here like, trying to improve your financial situation and live the good life, you know what I mean? Like, they're just going to reap the benefit of your hard work and fucking labor. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and even if you're in a relationship with this person, it's like, same applies. It's like, if you get to this point financially speaking where you could freaking go off and live in a damn mansion if you wanted to, and you're in a relationship with them, they're going to reap the benefits of your hard work and labor, and they're going to be living in a mansion too. The only difference is that they didn't have to put in the work to live in that mansion. You did. And I just think that you're going to feel like a type of way. Like, you're just going to feel some type of way about it. That's just what I'm getting. You're just going to feel some type of way about it. Like, you're just going to feel like you're putting all this hard work and labor towards improving your life just so that way they can reap the benefits of it. And that's technically how I see this playing out. You know what I mean? Like, because they don't really have the desire to start a business. They don't have the desire to get a degree like you do. Like, they just don't have it. So if you continue to remain with them, yeah, they're gonna benefit. They're gonna benefit. And they didn't even have to put in the work. You know what I mean? To live in that mansion, but you sure did. You know what I mean? Or to drive that expensive car, but you sure did. You see what I mean? So it's like, I just feel like you want somebody by your side that's like you. And currently at the moment, you don't have that. You know, this person does come off to me as somebody who's like, you know, very codependent. And let me be clear when I say this. I don't feel like you mind, you know, pouring into them, you know, financially, you know, emotionally. Like, I don't feel like you mind those things. I just kind of feel like you want it to be fair. Like, just like, yeah, I just feel like you want it to be basically fair, you know, like, just like, you know, you're able to essentially pour into them. You want this person to be able to essentially do the exact same thing. And I feel like the more you grow and evolve as an individual and the more they stay the same, the more you start to kind of find yourself essentially feeling like you're in an unfair relationship because you could do far more for them than they could essentially do for you. And I just don't feel like you like that type of dynamic because to you, it's very, very unfair to be with somebody who could barely do anything for you, but you can do it all for them. I just don't think that you consider that to be fair. You know, is basically what I'm getting. All right, so that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.